Tennessee WildCast is live on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to Tennessee WildCast. I'm Jason Harmon, your host, and right next to me is Miss Amy Spencer. We are in Region 1 today.
Yes, we are.
We're excited to be here. We're on the Hatchie River in Hardeman County, Bolivar, Tennessee.
And if you can't notice, it's a little hot and humid today.
It's a little hot and humid, and but we're excited to be right here on the river. And it's a little muddy today. It had some high water here recently, but it's nice to be outside every now and again.
Yeah, might see some trash float through here.
Yeah, there's been a lot of rain. So anyway, we're excited to be here in Region 1 and got a couple of cool guys with us today. We're going to talk about some Catfish Grabblin. And before we get to that, we want to hit a few current events and talk about what's happening across the state. Not a lot going on right now. It's summertime. It's kind of hot.
It's a little slow right now, but coming up Saturday, August the 4th, is the duck blind draw-ins in West Tennessee and Middle Tennessee. That's Region 1 and 2. You can go and try to get a duck blind.
Yep. And
then we got the Velvet Antler Hunt coming up August the 24th, 25th, and 26th.
Yeah. So if you want to take advantage of that, get out there and try to get you a velvet buck. It's going to be hot. There'll be a few ticks out. And hey, think about this. A lot of people may not have not thought about this. Those velvet antlers are going to be different to handle than your normal normal deer. You can't just grab them by the antlers.
No, you can't.
Drag them out.
They will move. They're pliable. They will bleed. So you have to be very careful with those.
So we've been throwing around the idea of putting together a video to educate y'all on that before the season, before the hunt. So we'll try to do that. And Mr. Barry Cross.
And those have to be treated different at the taxidermist too.
Yes, and you got to make sure you.
You better have some ice. You better be ready to go.
Yeah, and all the above. So anyway, think about that, and also CWD restrictions this year. We got some new CWD restrictions. The same as far as what you have to do with the animal, but all states apply. So. If you're coming from any state, if you've killed a buck, a deer, a cervid, a deer, elk, moose, etc., you have to make sure you go through the proper import restrictions before you can bring across state lines.
Especially in West Tennessee with our Mississippi and our Kentucky hunters, please be aware of that. You know, we've got a lot of questions on Facebook. What if I kill one? Yeah, it does apply. You've got to make sure it is clean before it comes back, and you're going to see some. We're really going to push this message, so you'll start seeing some more information on it.
Yeah, you may even see a billboard.
You might.
Driving down Interstate 40 here in West
might.
Tennessee. All right. Well, let's get to our guest, and I'm going to let you introduce them, Amy, because you know them better than I do, and I'm excited to talk about some catfish grabbling today.
We've got Jonathan Sain and Blake Tranum with us today, and I've been with them multiple times. This is an adventure. I would love to have showed the video when I went with y'all, 4 or 5 years ago, but we can't show that. I didn't do well when the fish grabbed my hand. I kind of said some things that are not appropriate for the TV, but we went, what was it, 4th of July. We went again 4th of July, and y'all caught a 50.1 catfish, right? I mean, literally, we're not far from where you caught it.
Yep, we ain't far. Just right up the river, just a little way.
We got a little footage of that if you're watching at home and on Facebook. We'll show it to you here, but anyway, they pulled a big one out of the water. I mean, you'll see it here in a minute. But how long were you underwater here on this attempt?
He was under there about 30 seconds almost. Yeah,
so it was Blake was under there.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Well, you got to understand that they'll be on top of the water together. And then what's so funny is, and I want to know, do you all actually talk, or do you communicate with this, or do you just shove him under the water, Jonathan?
I give him a little time. I have to coach him a little bit to go get him.
Give him some time to think about it.
That's right.
I have to be ready because he will shove me now.
That's right.
Well, you know, when we were doing this, a couple times they would go under, and we got kidding. We knew Blake would be down about 25 seconds, and then
minutes. Wow.
Yeah. And then that one time he was down there, and I thought, is he coming up? You know, I'm recording this. Is he coming up? What's going on?
Yep.
Stop tape.
A few times I have to go get him. The fish like to keep him sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes they get a little bigger than I can handle.
Yeah.
Well, I see y'all using this stick. You got the stick down in the water. Now, what's going on with that? Is that to locate the hole?
Is what it is. We find the hole and use that to hold because of the current. You can slide down that pole, and it uses less effort to stay there and mess with the fish. You know?
Okay.
Yep. That just makes it easier.
Makes it easier.
Yeah.
All right, yeah.
Now explain grabbling, because a lot of people, they don't understand exactly what it is.
Well, all it is you just catching fish with your hands. You go down the bank, find a hole, stick your leg in there, If he's in there, he'll let you know it.
Yeah, yes, they do. They will let you know
Stick
that.
your leg in there. I like that.
Yeah.
Just stick your leg in the hole.
That's
It'll be
right.
all right.
That's right.
Have you ever encountered anything else other than a catfish in the hole?
Well, not that we know of, but there's no telling what we've touched and didn't know what we touched.
And what about the snakes, Blake?
They're there, but I'll kind of get on out the way of them.
I don't have to watch for the snakes because if he sees a snake, he'll let me know it.
Now, I heard, you did say earlier that snakes have come up underwater out of the holes before.
Yeah.
No doubt.
We've run snakes out of holes and then caught fish in the hole. Yep. Sure have.
Wow. And this muddy water, you don't know what.
Oh, you
I
can't.
mean, it's hard
it
to
don't do
see.
you no good to open your eyes because you can't see
Yeah,
anyway.
you said to get some good video, and I thought, video of what? Muddy
Hey,
water?
If you're going underwater, take the GoPro, see what we can get.
Yeah, we're not going to get much.
Oh, man.
Now, how'd y'all get started in this?
Well, there's a guy that lived close to us. He's done it his whole life, and we just kind of went with him a few times. He showed us the ins and outs and the do's and don'ts, and we've been doing it ever since.
So how long has that been?
Been about 10 years.
10 years.
Yep.
Well, that's pretty cool. I've got to go once. Some folks took me, and we did a little video on it, and I got to go under there. I pulled out a small one, about like that, you know. So that was pretty cool. I could open my eyes in the water we were in. We were over at Watts Bar area, but this is a little different out here in this muddy water.
That's right. It messes with your nerves a little more.
Now, where do y'all go in West Tennessee? Of course, right here, we're on the Hatchie River.
We've been on the Hatchie River from the Mississippi River all the way to 57 Highway. We've covered it all.
Now, this year you've been going on the Fork of Deer a little bit more because of the water level.
That's right. We fish the Fork of Deer and the Tennessee River.
Okay.
We fish all of them.
What's the biggest fish you've ever pulled out?
80 pounds.
Wow.
Yep.
80 pounds.
80 pounds.
What's the average? I mean, do you normally, are you finding?
Average most years is between 45 and 55 probably. We catch a lot in that range.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. This year has been a little different. The water's been high. Hard to get to them, you know.
Right.
We ain't caught as many fish, but caught some good fish, you know.
And do you keep them, or do you let them go?
We turn loose probably 90%. We eat a few, and
Yeah.
few older people around that don't fish anymore, we take them some fish, you know.
That's nice. Yeah.
I'm gonna say 90% of them we turn loose.
I noticed the one in the video y'all turned it loose and let it
Yeah.
go, and got a few pictures with it and whatnot. But
Now, I will say, this is a family event. When they go,
Yeah.
Jonathan's mom and dad will be there. Your sister goes.
Yeah.
Your wife does it.
Yeah. The whole family does it. Yep. We've had his dad. He's went with us. We just a big family event. It's just a lot of fun.
And
you know.
he took my nephews and my niece a couple years
Yeah,
ago. That
this
was
the
like 5 years ago. We went 4 or
Yeah.
5 years ago.
Yep. This is the first year that we hadn't took some kids with us just because the water's been high.
yeah,
We usually take kids and everything else with us, you know.
I guess it could be dangerous. I mean, it can be
Oh,
dangerous.
Yeah, there's
and
no doubt. It can be dangerous.
Well, you know, when the water's up like this, you've got a pretty good current going, and
Yeah.
then you're underwater. Something could hit you.
Yep.
There's
That's right.
And when I went with him, I told him I'm not going under. I will do it as long as my head's above water,
Yeah.
but I'm not taking a
Yeah.
breath and going down.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Yep.
I'm gonna show a few more pictures while we're talking, but
Y'all can see the pictures here.
Yeah.
Now, starting out on this, now this is the one y'all caught the day I was with y'all.
Yeah.
What species are y'all normally catching?
Mostly flatheads is usually what we catch. We catch some blues, and we have caught a few channels, but most of them are going to be flathead, you know. That's just,
Now, sometimes on some of these pictures that we're showing here, y'all see you'll get two out of the same hole.
yeah, a lot of times at a certain part of the year there, what happens is the male comes in and cleans the hole. He gets it all clean. He leaves and go gets a female, and they go in. She lays her eggs. He runs her off, and he stays and guards the eggs.
So he's the
He's the one that does
he's the
it.
homemaker.
That's right. That's right. There's a certain time period there that you'll find two fish in the hole, but most of the time you'll only find one. It'll be the male.
Now, one thing that people don't, I guess, realize, but when we were with you that day, you kept saying, "Do you hear him?
Oh,
Do you
yeah.
hear it?"
You can hear it when he bites or slaps at you or anything in that hole. He lets off a noise. It's like a boom. You can feel it. You can feel it on the bank. It rattles the bank, you know.
Blake, what's it sound like when you're underwater?
You know he's there. I mean, it's just
You can be standing on the top of the bank or in a boat or anything if you're close and you know he's there. Yep.
Because you kept saying that day, but we couldn't hear. I mean, some of the background noise will kind of drown it
Yeah.
out. But if we went with you, when I was there a couple years ago, you could hear it right
Oh,
on top.
yeah.
And I
Yeah.
didn't share, but one of the photos when I was going back through my photos looking for stuff the other day, we found eggs. I don't know if you
Oh, yeah.
remember that.
Yeah.
And we had a
Yeah.
picture of it, and I should have included it in there, and I didn't think about it. But
Yep.
you'll see the eggs. If they pull them out, you can pull them
Yeah.
out. That's pretty
Yep.
cool.
Yep. We found a little everything.
do you think the fish goes back to that hole once you let them loose?
Oh yeah,
or-
you can go back. You can catch a fish one day and a week later and go back and catch the same fish a lot of times in the same hole.
And
No
I
doubt.
know we're probably giving away some of your secrets, but are you finding them inside the bank? Or are they under a ramp? Or
They can be under ramps, in hollow logs. We make boxes. You can build a box and put it in the river and sink it, and they'll go in that box and use it. Holes under the bank, just anything secluded that he can get back in and guard.
Out of the current. We had this discussion the other day.
Blocking the current.
That's right. Yeah, it's got to be out of the current.
Root wads. I mean, anything.
Yeah. Yep. That's right.
So I didn't know about the root wads. So you'll go down there and get him between the root wads.
I won't.
Okay, I started.
He might.
I'm not going down in there.
No, but they're there, no doubt.
Right, that's right.
Man, this is some. If you're watching, this is some big fish in these pictures.
Yeah, that's one of my nephews from years ago. And look, that one is huge. I mean, it's full of eggs.
That one there still got eggs. It hadn't laid yet. That's why we caught 2 fish in that hole. She hadn't laid yet.
The other day, I will say, the times we've gone with you, it's been pretty amazing because I think the first time I went with y'all, we caught 5.
Yeah.
And then the second time we went, we just caught this one down here. But, the waters, you said on the Hatchie, has not been right this year.
That's right. It's been really high this year. We've only been fishing in it about one time, and that's when y'all went and we caught 1 fish. Yep.
What have you learned, kind of maybe fish behavior doing this over the years?
Well, the first thing is every time you take somebody, the first thing they say is how strong the fish is in the water. That's just amazes people how strong he can be in the water, But it's like you said, a lot of these fish, they use the same hole from year to year, we think. Because you can go and catch the same size fish this year and go back next year, and it's real close to the same size, maybe a little bigger somewhere, But a lot of the fish, that's home to them,
But now you've started a little project just for your own curiosity.
That's right. This year we started tagging fish. We got a tag, we got a number, and we got it all wrote down on what they weigh, where they come from, what hole they come out of. That way we can we'll know more about how far they go and everything. We've caught 1 fish this year 3 times. One time in the same hole, and the next time he was 7 miles downriver in a different hole.
Wow.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yep.
That's awesome.
Yep.
So is it just
got a little tag. We're tagging them on the back of the fin.
Okay.
Back there. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
It'll be interesting to see. Did you just start it this year?
Just here.
So it'll be interesting to see what
That's
you
right.
find next
That's
year because
right.
you've got the records. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
That's
We
what
might have
we're
to do a
looking for.
recap.
Yeah, we might have to.
Yep.
So you talk about the weight of the fish earlier, and you talk about people just surprised at how much fight. I mean, if you got 80 pounds jerking on your arm,
right,
I mean,
that's right.
those are big fish.
That's right. You can tell in the video where he went down and got the fish. When he come up, he said, "Get me, get me." And that's what I do. I grab him, take him to the boat.
Yeah, I seen you dragging him. Yeah.
He can hold the fish, but he can't hold the fish and swim.
Right.
Somebody's got to get him to the boat.
That's another question. How deep of water are we working in?
Fish can be anywhere from a foot deep to 20 foot deep. It all can be different.
Yeah, I mean, you're not going to be swimming 20 foot, are you?
Well, we have caught some in 20 foot of water. Yeah.
Man, 30 seconds at 20 feet.
We caught some the other day at the Tennessee River. It was high, and we'd throw the anchor of the boat out and swim down the anchor and catch the fish and come back up.
No, not for me.
Yeah.
I like that.
It
My
makes it
head's
a lot
above
harder.
water. We're real shallow.
Yeah, it makes it a lot harder. Yep.
I seen in the pictures, in some of these pictures, you're wearing wetsuits or.
Yeah.
Now the belt buckle. That is this required on the belt buckle in this? If y'all are looking at it, you'll see he's got a belt buckle on.
That's a requirement to catch big fish. That's what it is.
All right.
I asked him that day. I was like, "Is that a requirement?" He's like, "I want my pants to stay up."
That's like Blake in his church shoes. One day he didn't have no shoes. He left his shoes at home, and what he had was his church shoes on. So that's what he wore, and ever since he's been wearing church shoes.
Them church shoes work miracles,
That's
man.
right. Them church shoes have seen some big fish.
Did you pray before you went in there?
Yeah.
That's right,
Okay.
that's right.
Well, he probably ought to pray before he shoves him on the water. Because if you're
That's
ever,
right.
I mean, when you're with them, he just is like they're just sitting there, and he's like,
Yeah,
just,
that's right. That's
and
like,
it looks like he's holding him down. Are you
yeah,
standing on
that's-
each other? What are y'all doing?
Yeah, a lot of people don't know it, but when he goes down, I'll stand on his back just to hold him there where he can work and do better.
Yeah, because he'll float
That's
up.
right,
Yeah.
That's
right.
how we communicate. We
Yeah,
can kind
you
of
can-
we
you
can
can feel
feel
what's going
instead
on.
of hear
That's
more
right.
than I don't
you
know.
can't talk under there. You don't know what's
They do
wrong.
have a good communication because Blake would be underwater and he would be telling us what's going on, and he'd be like, he's hitting my leg and
Yeah.
telling me what's going on.
Yeah.
And he actually said it, Blake, I was saying this, we had multiple cameras that day, and on I call it the good camera, we didn't catch you saying, but
Yeah.
you did say it on the iPhone. We got it.
Yeah.
You said I think he's got it.
As soon as he come out of the hole with him, I felt the fish was rolling him down there and was hitting me on the leg a little bit. I could feel him fighting around.
Gotcha.
That's when I went to get him then. He was done coming up. We kind of met in the middle.
And see, a lot of times down under these boat ramps or even in holes, the fish will get in there and waller out on a hole, and it kind of covers up their door they're going in. So
Yeah.
when you actually get the fish and try to bring him out, he'll he won't come. He'll
That's right.
wedge in there,
It'll wedge.
and you have to spend a lot of time
Yeah.
right there trying to get him out. And
Working him.
Yep.
Now, you all do have some specialized tools, because I know the day we were there, you would ask for different poles.
Yeah.
Can
We
you
got
kind of go into that?
It's different lengths is the main thing. It's all in difference. Every hole is different. You got a lot of holes, like you said, they'll water out a hole, and you can't just swim in there and get him. You know, you can't fit in there. So you take that little pole, and you can kind of rake him, make him come up towards the front where he'll get a hold of you or bite, or where you can reach him, you know.
Now, you caught it blocking in one of them. In
Yeah.
those pictures, there's like 4 or 5 of us all lined up, and
Yeah.
you block a hole so they
Yeah.
can't go out.
Some holes may be wider than one person can block.
That was at a boat ramp.
Yeah, and if it's not blocked, he might come out, you know.
Now, I will say, you all ask permission on the boat ramps.
Yeah.
You all always ask permission.
Yeah.
So if
Most people that see us around the Tennessee River see us coming, and they'll come out there to watch.
Yeah.
That's what they want
Well,
to
they
see.
did down
you know?
here.
Yeah.
the day we pulled up.
I noticed there was a couple guys watching, or at least another boat. And I thought, well, maybe they were with you, but
Well,
you get an
usually-
audience.
Well,
Yeah,
we did
yeah.
that day. We had some of the locals on the
Yeah,
Hatchie that
that's right.
they'll follow them around and watch them. And then
Yeah.
when we went up the river here, the landowner came out and he actually said, "Put it back."
Yeah.
I want it put
Oh,
back,
yeah.
and he always does. But
Yeah.
they wanted it put back because it's,
That's right.
we just try to respect them, you know. I mean,
and
Well,
that's good because ask
Yeah.
permission, be
Yeah.
respectful. And
Yeah.
one thing a lot of people don't understand is you have to have a fishing license.
That's
You
right.
are fishing.
right.
That's right. Yep. I guarantee.
Yeah, and two people don't, even creek fishers and stuff. If you're walking on somebody's property,
Yeah.
you got to get that permission.
Yep.
Right. And I know in the first video we did, when we went with y'all, everybody was talking about the game wardens with y'all. But hey, everybody enjoys seeing this.
Oh,
this
yeah.
is this is
Yeah.
that's
this
it.
is
I mean,
entertainment.
That's
There's
right.
a lot of folks
That's
at the
right.
agency that enjoy this sport,
Yeah.
and some of them call them grabbling, some of them call them noodling. What's all
Hand-
the different terms?
Grabbling, hand fishing, noodling, hogging. It's got a lot of different names. It depends on where you're located to what you call it.
Kind of a
pretty much.
regional.
Yeah.
Oh, you were saying something about, is it Oklahoma?
Yeah,
you said?
Oklahoma is known for noodling.
Okay.
Yeah, Arkansas that way is kind of where the hogging come in, and hand fishing is just kind of thrown in the middle of all of it.
Is it because of Arkansas Razorbacks? Is that how they got hogging?
It may be. Yeah.
Now I will say, you go down to Mississippi too and fish a little bit, don't you?
No, we don't ever go.
You don't down there?
No,
Okay,
no, we
I
don't.
thought you did.
We
All
haven't
right.
been down there. No. We most of everything we fish is Tennessee.
Okay.
Yep.
Mainly West Tennessee waters.
Yeah,
Anything?
yeah.
Any funny stories or anything good from when you're doing this?
We've had a lot of encounters with everything. It's like Blake. He went down, was checking a hole and stuff there, and he come up, said something got me. I said, what is it? He was trying to come out of the water, and he couldn't come out of the water. A trot line had him.
yeah,
Wow.
that's another danger. Trot lines is probably the worst thing that you
Yeah.
could get hung on.
A lot of people just put out trot lines, and just leave them, and don't go back and
Yes,
get them
that's-
anything. And then
Yeah.
From my career as an officer, that is one thing that we have ran into
Yeah.
years and years, especially out here on the rivers or on
Yeah.
the lakes. Limb lines and trot lines,
Yeah.
they just leave them. They
Oh,
don't tag them, they leave them, and,
That's right.
and we're cutting them down and we're taking them out. But you don't realize how many are actually
it's a
there
bunch.
until
Yeah,
you're.
That's right. That's
mean-
what we do. We get in the water and go down the bank. We might go down the bank for miles. We see nets. We found everything. We found all kind of things. It's just left.
Yeah.
They lose them or don't know where they're at or what. I don't know, but there'd be a lot of stuff in there.
So have you ever run into any traps like the, people set traps on the edges of the banks, of the rivers and stuff? You ever got any of those?
We ain't never seen any traps or anything like that. We ain't never encountered anything like that.
And I know somebody's going to ask because we did the thing on the turtles. Y'all ever ran into a turtle in one of these holes? Because that's the number one thing we get. What
Well,
about the turtles? And I know it
yeah.
crossed my mind when I was
Yeah.
doing that. I don't want to run my hand in here and there'll be a snapping turtle
A
in there.
snapper will get you.
Yeah, we ain't never had any turtle encounters that we know of. Ain't no telling what we've touched and didn't know what we
But
touched.
they just- yeah.
That's right.
I guess could there be, what's some of the other fish, if any, that would be in that hole?
I've heard people catching like carp and stuff like that in
Okay.
boxes and stuff like that. I guess they just go in there and wander in there.
Mhm.
I've heard people catching brim and bass and everything, but we hadn't never caught anything other than a catfish in ours.
Have you ever chased one out from another side of a hole? Can the hole be?
It can be different holes. It
Yeah,
can
no
be
doubt.
it can be 2 or 3 different holes leading to the same bed.
Okay, like
Yeah.
like
You
a
had-
tunnel kind of thing.
Oh
They
yeah,
got different-
yeah. A lot of times we'll find a hole, and we'll go before we ever even check it. We'll go around and make sure there's no other holes to block first.
I've seen them
Okay.
do that on the
blocking.
riverbank
mentioned
because
that,
you
yeah.
said
Yeah,
that
yeah.
a lot of times the beaver or muskrat,
yeah.
you think that's what they're
Yeah, a lot
on
of
the
times,
banks.
a lot of the holes that we catch fish out of, it could possibly be where something else had dug the hole or anything, and the catfish comes in and takes over that hole and starts using it, you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. How long do you typically hold your breath?
At least as possible, try to, yeah.
30 seconds is gonna max it. Probably.
Yeah, if somebody's down there 30 seconds, you better go get them. Yeah, something's going on.
Okay.
But are you thinking, man, if he just had 3 more seconds, he'd probably get that?
Oh yeah, I thought that a bunch of times. A bunch of times I'd have to turn him loose and push him back in the hole. Just,
Yeah, don't worry about him getting in the air.
yeah, that's right. That's right.
Come up, quick air, go back down.
Yeah,
You got him.
Yeah. A lot of times we'll tag team. He'll go down and start doing something, and I'll come up and we'll go back and forth. You know, that way we, like if we have to dig the hole out to get the fish out of it. A lot of times, like he'll cover up the hole. And
I guess I never thought about doing that, but I guess that,
you can get a hold to the fish, but he won't come out. So we have to alternate holding the fish and digging with one hand. You know, it's a lot of different ways to do things. We've caught some fish in one hole and put a stringer through him, but he won't come out of that hole, and you'll have to go out somewhere else and figure out where he come in at to get him out of it. Yeah, yeah.
How far have you gone in a hole?
All the way.
You got
Your whole body's
Oh,
been
yeah.
in a hole.
No,
Yeah.
no, no,
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no.
A lot of,
Leg first now.
a lot,
Oh, really? Okay.
a lot of holes. People's amazed how big they really are. You can go in a lot of these holes, just like say feet first, and you can go in and open your legs and can't touch the sides of the walls. We got 15, 20-foot poles you can stick in there and can't touch the back of them.
Well, I know they've done that under a boat ramp.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
it was on the Tennessee River we did
Probably,
it, and
yeah.
you could not
Oh,
reach
yeah.
the back of the hole.
Yeah.
So, and I was amazed
Yeah.
with that. But
Yeah.
you've gone all the way in,
Oh yeah,
head first.
yeah, both ways. Yeah, that's right.
You'd think the hole might cave. I'd be afraid the hole cave in on
Yeah,
me.
you have to watch some of these holes. You don't want people standing on the top of the bank up there
Exactly.
everywhere, because if it
Yeah.
does cave in, you're in a mess. You know.
Oh,
That's right.
You're more of a mess.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man. Well, any advice on if somebody wants to go? What was the first?
Yeah, just don't
what's
go
the-
do this by yourself.
Oh no, the main thing, you need to find somebody that can teach you something. You don't need to just go jump in the water and start thinking you're gonna catch a fish. You don't. That's not the way to do it. It's a lot dangerous. We've been doing it a while, and it's like the guy that taught us. He taught us a lot of things to look for, to know about things. You know.
They still make me nervous when I'm watching them.
Yeah.
Yeah, the main thing I think, if you want to try it for yourself, is to make sure whatever you're messing with is completely underwater. You don't want a hole that's got air in it or something like that, because that's where something's bad gonna be. Something,
where your
you know,
snakes and
snake.
stuff's gonna
He's
be.
got to breathe. A catfish ain't
That's
got to
right.
breathe.
That's right. Yeah.
I never thought of.
That's a
You're
good
exactly
tip.
right. I never thought about that, but
Yeah.
that's a good point, because if it's got an air pocket
Yeah.
inside it, then you're
That's
going to have a
danger.
turtle, or you're
Yeah.
going to have a snake.
Yeah.
You're going to have something else in there. Now, Blake will wear gloves, but you said they tear you up. You get you start itching.
I don't know what. I guess I'm allergic to the bite or something. I don't know what it is.
He was talking about, I'm itching.
It'll make my hands whelp up,
Yeah.
even through gloves.
Yeah.
Now, I wear the gloves because they will tear you up. They've
Yeah,
got
oh,
teeth.
yeah, they
They'll tear
will.
you up.
That's if you just get in the water and catch one fish, it's not all that bad. But if you stay in the water all day, your hands get pruned to get soft,
Right.
and that fish he'll rip your hand to pieces.
You're making me think of an Saturday Night Live skit.
Yeah,
You start
yeah,
talking, my hands are all pretty,
yeah,
but anyway, that's
yeah.
another story. Classic Saturday Night
Yeah,
Lives.
yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of wasted time there for me.
I know when I went, I used gloves because
Yeah, yeah.
But I think all the guys were at
Yeah.
that
I mean,
point.
you know,
But
unless you just want your hands tore up,
Yeah.
I mean, you
That's
can
right.
prevent it. You know,
That's right. Yeah.
Now, y'all will wear wetsuits.
We used to not wear wetsuits, but
we froze too.
that's right. It was the earlier it is, catfish spawn between 65 and 75 degree water. That's when they start spawning. When the water gets that temperature, they start coming up looking for holes to spawn in.
Mhm.
The water's still cold, say 70 degrees there. That's it gets cold, you know. So we started wearing wetsuits, and it makes it a lot funner because you ain't got to worry about the cold water. Blake, he's freeze to death. He would freeze. You'd see him. He'd be out in the water for a little while, and then he would go up there and lay out on a boat ramp or a rock or something to warm, look like a lizard. You
You
know.
could literally see little
Cold-blooded,
waves
you gotta
coming
go-
off
gotta
of
go
it.
sun.
Yeah.
so you say you wear wetsuits because it's cold.
Yeah.
What times? I mean, are you doing this in colder times of year too? Or
It starts during May and
May,
goes through
okay.
August, somewhere
Okay,
in there.
all right.
Sometimes earlier, sometimes later.
And
know.
you were telling us
This
the
is
other
when
day
they're
that you'll move with the rivers, because
Yeah.
some rivers are a little bit cooler
That's
than the
right.
others.
That's right. Some waters warm up quicker. You say take like Pickwick. Pickwick's gonna warm faster than the Hatchie River because it's not moving like
Right.
you
Not
get
as
the
much
current.
flow.
You know, that's right. So you can kind of move with the water to stay with the fish, Yeah. Little things we just learned, Yep.
Wow.
Now your sister does it, and
Yeah.
she's been doing it since I think the first time we went. She's how old now?
She's 12 now, and she's been doing it ever since she could have floaties on, just about.
I remember when she was
Yeah,
here the first year, she had like little floaties on
Yeah,
it, and she
yeah,
had her little life jacket on, and was out there filling
Yeah.
around.
Yep.
So
She caught one this year that weighed 46 pounds. She was tickled to death.
you had that one on Facebook
Yeah,
because
yeah.
I was trying to steal the video off your Facebook page, but I couldn't get it because
Yeah.
that would have been a good one.
Yeah.
Because
Yep,
she
did.
was. I caught one. I caught one.
Yeah, she was tickled to death.
I think a life jacket is a good idea.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
but
You can't go
You
under.
can't
if
go
you
under,
Got,
so,
yeah, life
yeah.
jacket on.
That's right.
I tell you what, it's been an interesting few minutes here.
I do
I've
have to
enjoyed it.
say thanks to Alan Baker at Baker Glass in Bolivar for letting us use your cabin today to have the backdrop here. That has, I think, made the setting. It's a lot more fun to be outside when we're talking about
Yep.
fishing. So
Yep.
Yep. And real quick before we close, any advice if anybody wants to go? Would you take them?
Yeah, we don't mind taking people and showing them things. We don't show a lot of people our
Good host.
best stuff. But yeah.
You'll introduce them to
That's
it.
right.
And,
That's right. Yeah.
And teach them how to get
Yep.
started. At least.
and he has taken quite. I've known y'all take. Yeah,
we took a lot of people off and on through the years. Yeah.
I know my nephews have been begging to go again.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
would love to do it again.
Yeah.
So
Anytime, they're welcome.
we'll take my son next year. He's small. We can get him in those holes.
We can use him as bait.
Oh man! All right. Well, hey, thank you guys for being here.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Enjoyed our time here in Bolivar, Tennessee, on the Hatchie, and thanks
Appreciate
for
y'all having
setting
us.
this up. Hey,
Yeah.
you're welcome. You're welcome. And we'll see y'all next time on Tennessee WildCast. All right.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee WildCast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.